This chapter of my story is about what came next, the years after everything happened. When I was still trying to make sense of things I didn't have words for. I didn't understand grooming. I didn't understand trauma. I didn't understand why I felt different from everyone else my age. I just knew something inside me had shifted. And like a lot of kids who go through things too early, I didn't fall apart. I adapted. By the time I reached my teens, I had already learned a few things about the world, things no child should have to learn. I learned that adults didn't always notice when something was wrong. I learned that speaking up didn't always feel safe. I learned that being quiet made life easier for everyone else. And I learned that, if I wanted to avoid trouble, I had to stay small, stay sweet, and stay out of the way. So that's exactly what I did. I became the teenager who never caused problems. The one who smiled, even when she was hurting. The one who tried to be perfect, so no one would look too closely. The one who blended into the background, because attention didn't feel safe anymore. I didn't know the word. Masking. Back then, I just knew how to act the way people expected me to. I knew how to hide the parts of me that felt messy or confused. I knew how to pretend everything was fine, even when it was. And the strange thing is, people praised me for it. They called me mature. They called me well-behaved. They called me easy. They had no idea I was just surviving. Inside, I felt disconnected. I felt older than my age, but also strangely behind. I didn't understand relationships the way other teens did. I didn't trust easily. I didn't know how to set boundaries. And I didn't know how to say no without feeling guilty or afraid. So I kept shrinking myself. I kept people at a distance. I kept pretending I was fine. Because when you've been targeted once, you learn to scan the world differently. You learn to protect yourself quietly. You learn to survive in ways no one else sees. Looking back now, I can see that my teenage years weren't about rebellion or chaos. They were about coping. They were about trying to feel safe in a world that had already shown me its sharp edges. They were about doing the best I could with the tools I had. Thank you for spending this time with me and for listening to this chapter of my story. These teenage years were shaped by coping,